But you're right, Ryan. Osceola and Rivercrest just can't separate themselves, so they finally did on the schedule, so we put them back to back on the media day here. So thanks for coming out, guys. Coach Johnny Fleming and the Rivercrest Colts. So, Coach, if you want to just maybe start out with an opening statement.
We're really excited about this upcoming season for several different reasons. One, we've got some new faces that are going to have to step up and make a change for us. We lost 3 All-State players, 2 All-State players that have been, 2-year running backs, 2-year quarterbacks that could do everything for us. And if they got loose, we knew they were going to take it to the house. It's a little bit different challenge this year, and that kind of makes things exciting when you got that new blood coming in. We're going to see what happens.
Well, I'd just like to kind of start out, if you can, recap your first season taking over after Coach Chandler left after a long time. In my eyes, it went really well for you. So just kind of recapping on that, how was your first, season?
It went good, Coming off 2017 winning state championship, you always want to, take that next step and get another one. And we were about, I would say, a yard short from getting back to the semifinals, or a minute and a half, and we just couldn't pull it together. Some injuries kind of hurt us. Contavious went down with a broken arm, hurt us. DeMilin, carried us as far as he could carry us, And like I said, we had 4 All-State players. 3 are gone, and the only one we have back is this guy right here, and we're going to lean on him to, to make some huge holes for us and get us going.
So in your second year, can you look back on last year and pinpoint any particular possible weakness or anything you need to strengthen up going into this season?
Well, the depth and just the understanding that the next guy's got to be ready. In the Dumas game, there's a play I can still see in my mind. We had a guy that was probably a third stringer that had to be in there during that play because of injuries, and we didn't make the right block, and that guy that he should have blocked made the tackle, and it kind of set us back there. So just hopefully getting that depth.
And before I neglect this, introduce who you brought with you here.
Okay, this is Coach Bj Chapman. He's our wide receiver coach, our tight end coach, and our strength and conditioning coach, and he's been with us at Rivercrest for about 31 years now. Got Logan Gray, All-State player. He's a defensive offensive tackle. He's recovering from labrum surgery that he had at the end of the season, and we're expecting big things out of him. Beside him is Gerardo Marrero. He's a offensive guard. He also is going to play linebacker, maybe some nose for us, who knows. He's coming off ACL surgery, so we're excited to get him back. Him and Logan both did that at the Fountain Lake game, the first playoff game, and Logan finished out the season, and Gerardo just couldn't with a torn ACL. And then down beside him is Riley Jones. He's our punter, our kicker, and we feel like if we get inside the 30-yard line, we got a chance to score. He also plays receiver for us, and in the secondary can play any position, so he's a pretty versatile guy.
Coach Fleming, Steve Clayton, I know how old you are because we went to college together many moons ago. You mentioned Logan. You brought 2 offensive linemen and a specialist. I'm sure you're looking at it as reloading, not rebuilding, from a very successful first year last year. Who can we look to for weapons for the Colts this year?
Well, that's interesting because we're not going to have that one dynamic guy that can just break it, and we know if he gets loose, he's going to go. But we have, 4 or 5 guys that don't have quite that breakaway speed. But I think it's going to be harder to key on just one guy. And we've got Keyshawn Scott in the backfield that runs the ball extremely hard. When he gets it, he's already going full speed. And he also worked in the spring at quarterback for some because one of our quarterbacks was playing baseball at the time. So he got a lot of reps and really did a good job and picked up on things. So we're looking for some exciting things from him. We've got Douglas Freeman that's really got in the weight room and he's tore it up in the weight room. He's bulked up. He's a hard runner. He can catch the football out of the backfield, and we're expecting a lot of things out of him. Out on the edges, we got Travis Smith, which is probably our fastest guy, and we're going to try to get him the ball some. Jarvis Johnson's about 6'4", and he can jump and run, and we think down close to the goal line we can use him as a weapon. So, and there's several other kids that we have. Easton Elder's probably going right now is our quarterback, looking like. He's a senior. He's also our linebacker, so it's a tough situation to put a kid in. And we got some other kids that we think can help us in that role also.
Now you talked about players, weapons. Exactly, and I know I'm a football nerd. Talk to us a little about your offensive set and your offensive philosophy out of that set.
Well, offensively, we can line up anywhere from 11 guys right there, 4 yards from the football, or we can go empty. So it's going to be multiple sets and multiple things. I was a defensive coordinator for a long time, and I know just trying to prepare for teams that do multiple things, it just takes more time. It takes more time for preparation. It takes more practice time for the kids to see what you're trying to get them to understand. So we're going to do all kinds of things offensively.
Now, I know you have a lot of two-way players. Touch on that and talk about the Colts defensively.
Well, I think I heard Southside or somebody talking about the luxury of being able to play people just one way. We've never had that luxury. If you're one of the top 11 kids, you're going to be on the field offensively and defensively. We're going to rest you when we can, but to have success, I think you need your best guys out there on the field at all times.
No doubt. Now, what will be the defensive alignment?
Well, defensively, we're pretty much a 52. Now, we'll stack the box on you if you're going to be run heavy, or if you go spread, we'll get into just 3 down linemen and spread out with you. So we're pretty multiple defensively also, I think.
All right, Logan, pick up the microphone. Let's visit a little bit, bud. Offensive lineman, not your normal, typical leader, but obviously you're going to be asked out of you this year as a senior and leader. Kind of comment on that.
Well, these past few years I've been playing both ways and trying to be the best leader I can and lead my guys to victory every single game. But I feel like we got a young, strong group of guys coming up that'll be a good help this season. Like, we have 3 juniors playing, and me and Gerardo are the only 2 linemen that have played every year. But we got a good group coming up, and I think we're going to put up a good fight this year against anybody.
What would you look at for your starting offensive line? Kind of walk us through that.
Well,
and I know it's projected. I'm not going to hold you accountable.
His little brother's going to be the center more than likely.
Now, how little is your brother? Let's talk about dimensions.
Well, Logan's about 280, 6'2", 6'3", and his little brother's probably about 6 foot, about 260.
Still growing, both of them.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and walk us through either Coach Fleming or Logan one.
We got a good line that can move. We might not be the biggest, but we can move everywhere. We pull and we do a lot of different blocks, but when it comes down to it, we can move people, but we can also get out in the field and do whatever we need to do to get the backs in the end zone.
We lost about 3 linemen that were over 300 plus, so we're going to be a little bit smaller on the line, but we're going to be quicker, we believe. And we've got some other guys that are still recovering from some injuries. Austin Manuel had an Achilles problem, and Cameron Green broke his arm this summer. Chance Brigance moves as good as anybody we have and is strong. So we feel like our line's going to be one of our strengths once we get all those guys healthy. We've got a 10th grader, Octavio Chirinos, that's a big, strong kid that's going to play for us. So we're excited about our line and about things that, like Logan said, we're not going to be as big, but we're going to be quicker and faster and be able to do some other things that we hadn't done in the past maybe.
Gotcha. Coach Fleming, you obviously have one of the best kicker punters in the state sitting to your right, or left rather. And Riley, talk a little bit about your development as a kicker. You really increased your range and as a place kicking last year that I noted, and just talk a little bit about your development there.
Yes, sir. I went to mini camps this summer and had a lot of fun at it. Met a lot of great people, just met a lot of good teachers. We went over a lot of stuff because I had problems with kickoffs, getting my steps right, and just going to different camps. I had people who taught me different ways that I could get more distance, get more hang time. And on my place kicking, I started off in 10th grade, not super great, but after lots of help, I was able to get back and able to get more. I was able to get more help in also the hang time and the distance, and it just, all that help really gets you places whenever you're.
Coach Fleming, I want to talk about the rest of your special teams, the return game, your punt return, kick returners. Talk a little bit about that, those people.
We're thinking Travis Smith to be one of our deep guys. Like I said, he's probably the fastest guy on our team. And, the Truman game, he returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and that kind of just set the stage for the rest of the game and really for the conference season. That was our first conference game, and and got us off on the right track against a very good football team. Like I said, Douglas Freeman, he can be back there to catch it, and run it if he catches it. And Keyshawn is going to be back there. When he gets it, like I said, it takes him two steps, and he's already full speed, and that's what I like about him. He doesn't mess around. He gets going. So we feel like we've got some exceptional guys back there, maybe not quite with the speed that Contavious had, but just a step away. And if you give them opening, they're going to take it all the way for us.
Good deal. Just one more aside, and I'm going to pass the microphone, but one of the pleasures of my job as a writer with the newspaper in Osceola is getting to cover the hometown team and then the team a little bit further south. And it's a pleasure to get to cover you folks and these young men, and just wish you the best this season.
Thank you.
Gerardo, I wanted to ask you real quick. I understand you went down with injury last year. Can you kind of fill us in on where you're at, and will you be ready to go next month?
All right, so I got about 2 weeks left in therapy. So by August 1st, I get the news if I'm cleared or not. But my therapist said, her name's Violet, and she said that I'm pretty sure I'm going to be good to go, and I'm going to go all out for the season.
Well, that's kind of a thought I had too with you too, Logan. You both went down in the Fountain Lake game. So although the team went on to play a couple more games, you two have to feel as if there's a little unfinished business for you because you didn't get to go on and be on the field for those final 2 playoff games.
Yeah, I heard a lot. Like, I played the whole season, and just to go down like third play of the game of the first round, it sucked. It sucked bad.
Logan, let me hear your take on it as well.
Well, I got hurt the Fountain Lake game, but I didn't really think nothing about it. I kept playing the rest of the playoff games. I mean, it took a toll, but I just wanted to do everything I could to help the team out, and I knew they needed everybody. And seeing him go down, it was rough to think about having to stop. So I didn't think nothing about it. I just kept going. But yeah, it's hard to have an injury like that and think about how you're going to recover and all the therapy, and it's rough, but we're both trying to get back to where we need to be to help this team out to win games. So yeah.
Good deal. And I want to hear from you as well, Coach. So you've been around for 31 years. So I'm just thinking to myself, you've seen a lot. And we always kind of joke there's something in the water in Wilson because you guys produce so many all-state athletes all over the years. I've been in Arkansas about 15 years, and it seems like every year, every other year, there's some sort of big all-state talent coming from Rivercrest.
Yes, I'm actually from Osceola, if you can believe that. I didn't plan on staying 31 years, but when I got there, I knew there was something special about the kids. I knew there was something special about the coaching staff, and so 31 years later, here I still am. But there's an abundance of talent at Rivercrest. Ever since I've been here, we've had talent, and we have great kids who work hard. Also, we've had very, very consistent coaching that's been here, that's put their heart and soul in it, and that's what makes a difference. That's what makes Rivercrest a special place to work. And so they have something special going on, and I'm just glad just to be a small part of it.
Absolutely. So, Coach Fleming, you have the kicker down there. I want a commitment that you are going to kick if the drive gets stalled out inside the 30, because there's so many area teams and just local at the high school level in general really don't utilize the kicker as far as kicking field goals. But if the few teams that I've seen over the several years that do have weapons as kickers, it is a huge weapon for you. You could really utilize that if you have the guy to do it.
You can pretty much count on that. Now, when the game comes around, I may change my mind, because even in the spring game, we get down there and it's 4th and 7 from about 20-yard line, and we go for it. I'm thinking, when we get through, we should have tried to kick it right there, but we didn't. But I tell you right now, I've got all the confidence in the world in Riley right now, and it's going to be up to Riley whether we kick it. Once we get further into the season, if he's making them, we're going to keep doing that. If not, we'll do what's best for the team. But like I said, I've got all the confidence in Riley right now to do what it takes to make those field goals and the extra points, because those things are huge.
Definitely. Can be won or lost right there. So now, Coach, if you don't mind, just give a closing statement and just your optimism and enthusiasm for the upcoming season.
Well, there's a lot of enthusiasm, and I want to hit on what Coach just said just a minute ago about our coaching staff, from our junior high coaches all the way up to our high school coaches. those guys put in a tremendous amount of time. Our junior high coaches volunteered all season last year, every practice and every game, and they were there every time, you know, we hit the field. So I really appreciate those guys. And I'd like to mention, you know, our high school staff, Coach Harden, Coach Griffin. You know, we got a new addition, Joey Potter from Brooklyn, that's going to be with us, that's been there before, and we're glad to have him back. And then Coach Murphy Smith that does our defense. He does an outstanding job. So we're really proud to have all those guys on our staff, and we think it's the best staff in the state. And I'm just telling you, we're excited about this season, and I can tell the kids are excited because they've been in the weight room. We probably had the biggest turnout for weight room lifting that we've had in a long time, so it's going to pay off.